Unlike Tucker Carlson, I am not the sworn enemy of lying, pomposity, smugness, and groupthink. But I try to reason soundly, think clearly, and judge wisely when it comes to the aspects of religion mixing in with politics. And shall we say, education as well? For how can you really separate religion and education and get a biblical foundation for education? Take 4 entities. New York State Board of Regents, NEA Teachers Union, Local Board of Education, parents in the school. Which has the most power? Doesn't it start with the Board of Regents at the state level? Wouldn't you say that there's a lot of political influence through the teachers union? Oh, the school board's supposed to represent the district, but how much power do they really have in light of the top 2 power entities above them and the parents? How much power do they really have? Let me put it this way. Does the money for education follow the students and the parents, or does it really end up under the control of the Board of Regents and the teachers union? We've got some things to think about here, some things to reconsider, because if we're Christians, we haven't even really brought up the element of God. Meaning, the State Board of Regents, they really have no awareness of God being in the education of the young. It's very secularistic, totally contrary to how the nation first started. Oh, the old Satan Deluder Act. Before the country even was a country, the Pilgrims and the Puritans came over and put that law into place so that the young would be schooled to learn the Word of God. That was the purpose. Is that really the purpose now? Do you see how things have flipped? The hard decisions need to be made. I'm not sure how much influence we'll have to rearrange the power at the top. But if you're a parent and you really are concerned about your child's education, maybe you do need to consider an alternative. Maybe you do need to step out and say, you know what, I'm going to try to homeschool. If you want your child to really develop a biblical worldview from a very young age, how can it be done without the Bible? I encourage you to think about these things, because your child's future is at stake. And when you see the studies done on a biblical worldview, only a small percentage of the church even has one. Do you see how far we're put behind the 8 ball already with the way things are transpiring with respect to education? That being said, we need to remember those believers that are in the current system trying their best to be a positive influence upon those in this current situation, a situation that really takes away power from the parents and puts it into a centralized system. Ever hear of the Federal Department of Education? We know how much more power is being generated in Washington, D.C. We need to pray for those who educate. We need to pray that there would be those who would boldly stand and say, wait a minute, let's shift the emphasis from having the money follow the state for education and have the money follow the parents and the students in order to give them more control over the way they want their young to be educated. Well, unlike Tony Kornheiser of Pardon the Interruption, I cannot promise you that I'll do better the next time.